If you like onions and you like cheese, I think you're going to like this. It's a very cool take on onions. This is Tennessee onions. Well, I don't know if they're actually from Tennessee, but that's what the recipe said, and that's what we're going to make. So buckle up. We're going to make them right now, and I think we're going to have fun doing it. Let's get to it. Before we start, if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Give me a comment, thumbs up below. That helps the algorithm, and that helps me. I'd really appreciate it. So first up, we need a couple onions, nice large onions. I had the mega size, so we're going to cut them in half. Along with that, we need some garlic powder, some paprika, some salt and pepper, half a cup of butter. We're going to melt that. And cheese. That's a half a cup of Parm, a cup of mozzarella, and half a cup of cheddar. That's all we need to make these things. Let's get to it. So first thing we got to do is prep our onion, peel it, and I'm going to cut just a little bit off the end so I can kind of cut it in half. I decided these are way too big to deal with. But if I cut them in half, they're still going to be good size to eat. They'll just be easier to deal with. We sliced them in half, and now we've got to get our slices together. They're supposed to be thin sliced, but I don't really know how thin slices is, so I kind of guessed. Thin enough that they're thin and thick enough so that they don't fall apart. So something like that. And I'm not using a sweet onion, I'm actually just using a yellow onion. So I know there's going to be a little bit of a kick to it. So if you're making them and you don't really like strong onions, go get a Vidalia or something similar to that. Whatever doesn't hold together, once we get our pan out, I'm just going to throw that in and use it in another dish. So there's our onions. We'll bring out our baking sheet with some parchment paper, and we're going to carefully, and the first one falls apart, of course. I'm going to put it back together because I know the cheese is going to kind of glue it all right. So with a little bit of patience, a little bit of luck, we get our onion slices all onto our sheet. And we got about 14, I think, 15. Now to melt our butter. That's a half a cup of butter, plenty for what we need. We'll get the onions out of the way, melt our butter. But while we're doing that, let's put our spices together. That's the garlic powder and paprika. I put a teaspoon each, half a teaspoon of pepper and half a teaspoon of salt. And we just give it a quick mix. Okay, here's our butter, and we're just going to spoon it on. So I just got a teaspoon out, and I just carefully spooned it on each of the onions, and it just, well, it's not going to soak up into the onion, but it's just very buttery. Next up comes our spices, and we're just going to kind of spread it all as evenly as we can, just like that. Looks good. And now the cheese. First up, we got our cup of mozzarella. We're going to spread it on all the slices, and it'll look something like that. Next, our cheddar. We just put a little bit on each one. Ta-da! And then last, of course, on top is going to go our Parm. And there's just enough at this point that it all goes on. The only thing left to do now is to get it in the oven. 375. And it's going to bake for 20 to 30 minutes. And when it comes out, look at how bubbly that is. Whoa! Yummy. And I wish you could smell it because it is fantastic. We had to let it cool down. And now, of course, I've got to kind of separate all the onion slices. The flipper ain't working worth of fiddlers. So we get the knife out. We carefully cut each of the onions. And you got to keep all the stuff, even the stuff that's melted off the onion. You got to keep that. So we ever so carefully pull it off. And there is our first Tennessee onion. Ooh-wee. This is going to be good. And there's the second one. Onto our plate. Now I just got to separate the rest of them so they look something like that. And there's our plate with Tennessee onions. Cheesy and oniony. This one's a winner. Hey, another great recipe. I hope you'll give it a try. Leave me a comment below, one way or the other. Listen, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell, because that'll tell you the next time I upload a video. Feel free to share this and any of my other videos. And thanks for stopping by and watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.